On JW, how?
I'm great. It's dry here, but I was just outside, and it looks like the weather's brewing out there a little bit.
It's brewing pretty good. It's going to blow through. We'll be done with all the inclement weather right around 6 o'clock or so, just in time for the show to get done and for the pep rally to get started. So come on out. It is fun. Whenever you have Parents Weekend and all the folks around here hanging out, and the moms and dads and the little brothers and sisters and the alumni come back, it's a good time. So we invite you to come by, hang out with us here at Illegal Pete's. By the way, our show today is brought to you by Corona, the official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Go Cats. All right, we've got a lot to get to on the program. Here's what I'm going to tell you we'll do. Adia Barnes is going to join us on the show today. She'll make her debut for the 2022-2023 season. So I'll have a nice conversation with Adia. She's a friend of the show. She's going to join us. We'll also get you a really in-depth look at Oregon with Steve Tannen from our sister station up in Eugene. So he's going to join us in just a little bit. And Glenn Howell will join us as well, as we'll talk with our Arizona insider at 5 o'clock about what we expect in the game against the Oregon Ducks. So like I said, lots of excitement as we're down here at Illegal Pete's. Of course, the show this week is brought to you by Suntan Juicy IPA. Keep listening, because during the show, you might not know, but we give you a chance to win a $25 gift card to get yourself some Suntan Juicy Jack IPA. Santan. Did I say suntan? Did I say it wrong? I keep saying, I'm sorry.
I'm not on air right now.
Santan Juicy Jack IPA. Suntan? I was just thinking of everybody walking around out here getting some Sunday. Santan Juicy Jack IPA. All right, let's do this. Let's see what's rattling around in my big old head today, shall we?
Warning. The following segment might trigger some listeners, and 1290 does not take responsibility for the following content.
What the hell is going on?
It's time for The List, as we explore the sick, twisted mind of our host, Rich Herrera.
And that's when things got bad.
And the list of things he is thinking about in that huge size 8 Cro-Magnum head of his.
Look at the size of that boy's head. That's like an orange on a toothpick.
You're gonna give the boy a complex.
Well, that's a huge noggin. Has its own weather system.
It is ginormous, a size 8. That means I have lots of things rattling around in this big old head today. You know what, football fans? You asked for it, and you got it. Jed Fish, you've been demanding it. You've been begging. You've been pleading. You've been saying, please come out to watch this team. Well, you got it. Arizona will have its first sellout since 2015 against UCLA, with the Oregon Ducks coming in town. It's exciting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be raucous, and it's going to be a litmus test for Arizona football. Here's the deal. It is now the biggest stage for Jed Fish and his football team in the build. We're done with the rebuild. We're now in the build. Now we're trying to stack games. We're trying to stack seasons on top of each other to get Arizona to where we all want them to be, which is a national contender. We want them to be a perennial contender for a Pac-10 championship. I said Pac-10 because USC, UCLA can go. Anyway, this is a big-time game, big-time crowd, and a big-time stage set for the University of Arizona and their young quarterback, Jayden de Laura. Here's Jed talking about Jayden de Laura. Last week, 6 touchdowns. 6 touchdowns. He tied a record set by Tom Tunnicliffe 40 years ago, and he tied it against the Colorado Buffalo.
I think, every week we continued to build trust. He was 20 for 29 against North Dakota State, had no turnovers in a very good game. Against Cal, he threw for 401 yards and continued to move the ball. This week, he did it again. I think every day we build more and more trust, and that's what it comes down to. This is year 1, game 5 for us, and he's a sophomore coming out of a run-and-shoot system. So the more time he spends
about 10 seconds
in our system, the better he's going to be. And he has all the gifts physically. So it's now a matter of just continuing to improve in the system.
Last week, Jayden de Laura, 33 for 46, 484 yards to the ground, 6 touchdowns. But the most important number, 0. 0, as in none, as in a big goose egg when it comes to turnovers, no interceptions from Jaden DeLore, and he's going to have to play that kind of perfect game, that kind of clean game against the Oregon Ducks for the Arizona Wildcats to shock the world. Arizona's a huge dog. Everybody and their brother is going to be throwing their money towards the Oregon Ducks. That's cool. I'll take that, homies. I don't mind. Oregon's supposed to be a huge favorite. They're in the top 25. They're supposed to come in here and wax the Arizona Wildcats, but don't tell that to the Arizona Wildcats because they're feeling pretty good about themselves with this young trio of wide receivers that you have with Dorian Singer, with Tetarello McMillan, and then you got Jacob Cowing, the senior who transferred in from UTEP. Here's the head coach of Oregon, Dan Lanning, talking about the trio and the firepower that Arizona has at wide receiver.
Yeah, I think this is maybe the most talented team we've played so far at wideout. They have really, really talented wideouts, but I think this quarterback really can play well. He throws, lasers. He throws the ball on rhythm, on a dart, and he doesn't need a big window to be able to attack. He's able to extend plays with his feet. So this is a really good challenge.
About 10 seconds.
Slowed them down offensively. They've only maybe hurt themselves a couple times, to be honest. So they've done a really good job. They get the ball downfield. They take long shots. So this will be a really good challenge.
Boom, that's it right there. He said it. They didn't make any mistakes. Arizona, if Arizona's going to win, there's a couple things. I'm going to go through everything Arizona has to do to shock the world. I'll tell you a big one right now. Arizona has to keep from turning the ball over. Jed Fish has got to keep the ball game in a way, in a manner, in a pace, in a style that we're not asking Jaden DeLore to be a hero. Jaden DeLore has to be a hero. Game's already done. If Jaden DeLore plays within his own, in his own boundaries, and they set him up for success, they run the ball enough, not all the pressure's on him. They keep moving the chains, and they stay out of 3rd and long. Jaden DeLore could do his thing. If that happens, he's not pressing. He's not trying too hard. He's not playing catch-up. That happens. Arizona's got a shot. And I think all we can ask for is, 4th quarter, make it a one-possession game and give you a chance to shock the world. We'll have more on that coming up on the program. Man, the videos come out. Have you seen the video yet, guys, of Draymond Green walking up and punching Poole on the side of the head? Arizona Wildcats, Steve Kerr, best coach in the NBA, is really going to earn his money now. After winning a championship with, I'm not even sure how to describe Draymond Green, your best friend if he's on your team, worst enemy if he's not, and sometimes even the worst enemy of the team. I love Draymond Green, but he's a knucklehead. He's a big knucklehead. And the videos come out of him walking over to the baseline and punching Poole, shoving him. Poole shoves him back, and that's what you're going to do. Somebody walks up and shoves me, I'm going to shove him back. And then Green hauling off and smacking him in the side of the head. Green was sent home, kept out of practice the last 2 days, had to apologize to his team. But I'll tell you what, if Draymond is that wild and crazy and out of control right now, Steve Kerr is going to have his hands full trying to control him for the entire season to see if they can, again, repeat, win that championship. They're the best team in the NBA. Hey, sorry, Laker fans, you can go jump in the lake. I'm all about the Dubs and Steve Kerr. But Steve is going to have to earn his money this year in managing all the expectations of the best team in the NBA. Yeah, shut up, Boston. I don't care about you. The best team in the NBA, Memphis, go take a walk, and everybody else. The Warriors are the best team in the NBA. Steve Kerr is in charge there, and he's going to have to work his tail off in order to control Draymond Green, because if Green is this out of control this early, what happens when we get to the pressure-filled moments as we get to the spring and we get to the NBA championship? Kerr has got to have his hands full, and it's going to be a bumpy ride for him trying to see if he can get Draymond to be part of the team and not just an enigma. How about that for a word? A riddle wrapped in a question. You know what? I'm going back and forth. I'm going to talk about Tom Brady for just a second. I first hated Tom. First, I liked Tom Brady when he came out and he took over as the quarterback for the New England Patriots coming out of college. Wasn't drafted very high. Got the opportunity, made the most of it. I rooted for him a little bit. And then he became so awesome that I hated him, because that's what we do. We are haters. Haters going to hate. A friend of mine said, you know what? The higher you go up the flagpole, meaning the more successful you are, the more your butt's hanging out, which people can take pot shots at, right? Nobody ever hates a loser. They only hate a winner. Winner, Tom Brady is so awesome and so good. He's the GOAT. It's easy for everybody to hate him. He's gotten better looking as he's gotten older. He's got perfect clothes. He's got that cleft chin that looks like Superman, and he's married to a supermodel. So I hated him through Deflategate and all the rest, Tuck Rule, and there's lots of reasons to hate on Tom Brady. Then he went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he took the most hapless team in the National Football League, where they were wearing paper bags over their heads, and he made them into champions. I'm like, okay, you know what? I got to give him credit. He is the GOAT. He did this. That's pretty impressive. And then he decides to retire. Good job, pal. Go ahead. You earned it. Go ahead. It's cool. And then he decides comes back. And I'm still thinking he's got more money than anybody else I know, and he's married to a supermodel. All right, maybe I hate him again because he bailed in the middle of training camp because he had to, quote-unquote, do with personal things. But now I actually feel bad for Tom Brady. Here's Tom Brady talking about just playing through the nonsense of this season. Here's cut 10.
I think, football always has its challenges in different ways for everybody at different times. So, it's work and everyone has different challenges. You deal with it the best way you can.
Listen, we all have our challenges, and it's kind of interesting, fun, sad, thought-provoking to think that Tom Brady is worth more money than anybody else I know, married to a supermodel wife, has challenges like the rest of us. And now it looks like he's going to go through an ugly, messy divorce on the biggest stage because he's cropped over from the sports page to the society page to the front page. But I've decided I don't hate Tom Brady again. I actually feel bad for him. Some of the tabloids that are coming out saying he's in a loveless marriage and people making fun of his personal life, I wonder if people really get excited and get all hot and bothered just tearing other people down like that. It's kind of sad. So everybody that's celebrating it, Tom Brady, the perfect man with all the money in the world and a beautiful wife, having domestic issues, you're a loser, in my opinion, if you're standing there hating and loving on that. Let's see, what else are we going to talk about today on the program? Oh, the Major League Baseball playoffs begin today. Early ball games. How about the Cardinals? They bring in their closer trying to finish it off. Phillies score 6 runs, win 6-3. Ouch. The Guardians and our very own Terry Francona, Arizona Wildcat, he wins today 2-1. And they're currently playing right now the Mariners over the Jays 4-0. I'm rooting for the Mariners on that one because Charlie Montoya, who lives here in Tucson, was the manager of the Blue Jays, so I'm going to hate on them, and I'm going for the Mariners today. And then later the Padres will take on the Metropolitans at Shea, or City, or whatever they call it now. It's Citi Field, I know that. And that's what's rattling around my big old head. It's Parents' Weekend, so everything down here is packed. It is the energy, the excitement, the fact that it's going to be a sellout Arizona Stadium. It's official. They've sold the game out for tomorrow, which is amazing. So that's what's rattling around in my big old head. You know what I also wanted to touch on I didn't get to? I've got to talk about Thursday Night Football. Whew. What a dog with fleas. What is going on with Russell Wilson? We'll touch on that coming up on the program. Like I said, Adia Barnes joins us at the bottom there. I'm going to be all over the place today. Adia Barnes is joining us at the bottom of the hour. We are going to hear from Glenn Howell a little bit later, and I got a really, really big scouting report. So we're going to find out everything we need to know about the Oregon Ducks as they're rolling into town to take on the Arizona Wildcats. Hey, don't forget Monday Night Football. We go out to Desert Diamond Casino on South Nogales Highway. We broadcast live beginning at 3 o'clock for Monday Night Football. Make your plans to join me out there. We'll continue with you. I'm Rich Herrera. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290. And our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Coloco. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Coloco, who slams it down for 2. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
4th down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. Into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
4th down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on 4th down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his 3rd foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from mid-court. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's
We're tied.
Huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep, down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps into the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big
Really
time.
on the field is a safety.
Yes. That's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Hebert, they just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the move.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, thanks for joining us, everybody, as we come to you live from Illegal Pete's. Bear Down Friday. Our broadcast is brought to you by Corona. Thanks to our friends at Corona for making this possible, the official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Go Cats. All right, we'll talk a lot of Arizona coming up. In just a little bit, we're going to talk with Dia Barnes. She joins us near the bottom of the hour, the women's basketball coach, head coach for the Arizona Wildcats. Such a tremendous run they've been on since their NIT, their Final Four, their championship game, and they're poised to have another big year with huge crowds gathering at McHale Center for not only Tommy Lloyd, but for a Dia Barnes crew as well. So we'll talk to her coming up at the bottom of the hour. I'll try to sneak in a telephone call or two, but to be candid with you, it's going to be pretty busy today with everybody that we have coming up on the show. In fact, Steve Tannen from our sister station up in Eugene, Oregon, is going to give us an in-depth scouting report on the Oregon Ducks and what they're going to bring to the party. And then Glenn Howell joins us a little bit later in the show as well. But I will throw out the number for you just in case you want to try to sneak one in, 520-848-1290. I got to touch on this last night because I told everybody, hey, get excited, watch Thursday Night Football. If I bought it on Prime and I paid for it, man, when I want my money back. That game was a stinker. And what turns out to be the stinker is that it might be Russell Wilson. I'm going to throw this out at you. Russell Wilson has not done anything since he's been in Denver. Russell Wilson, I have to throw this out there, folks, because it was such a bad football game. Here's Russell Wilson, game on the line. This is the guy that Denver gave everybody away for, is giving him more money than anybody else knows what to do with, and this is what you get at the end of the ball game.
There was a Super Bowl where a lot of people thought he should roll out.
Yeah.
You know what happened? 4th and 1. Surveys, good protection, slides, fires, broken up in the end zone. Gilmore on Sutton. So the defensive player of the year a couple of years back, and somehow, some way, the Indianapolis Colts, who took their first lead of the game on that field goal, pull out a 12-9 victory.
1 yard. It's 4th and 1. And that's the best that you could do for a quarterback that you traded half your team for and gave all that money. Here's Russell Wilson commenting on that last play that just went for nothing.
We had a good play call on. We went to Cortland there. Guy made a good play. I was ready to move around if I needed to. You know, we came up with a big 4th and 2 earlier in the drive before, the 2 drives before. You know, so we went for it. We didn't want to end in a tie. You know, we wanted to try to win the game. You know, and that was our mentality. I think Coach made a good call. I think we got to find a way to make a play, whatever it takes. And the thing about close games and this and that is, it comes down to finding a way. And we found a way before, and this time we didn't. We had a really good drive in overtime. They went down and kicked the field goal, whatever. We got the ball. We drove.
About 10 seconds.
Our offense should look, quite often. We were able to get, make plays and do our thing. Guys did a good job blocking up that last drive, and they made a good play.
Comes down to a guy having to make a play. This isn't hero ball. This isn't asking him to do something spectacular. This is getting 1 yard. 1 yard. Couldn't do it. Couldn't come over the clean. Couldn't take off and run. Didn't feel comfortable handing the ball off. And he throws the ball, bang, hits the ground. This is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. A free agent or a guy that got traded for everything that they gave up for him, and they get nothing back in return. Here's Richard Sherman talking about reacting. This is all courtesy of Amazon Prime.
On the final play, you got to run the ball. Again, I wish I had Marshawn up here. 1 yard. You need 1 yard. Run the ball. Run the ball. CT.
He's triggered.
All he has to do is run the football. Like, necessary criticism. I'm not, I've said enough criticism for him, but God dang it, run the dang ball. Like, learn from your mistakes.
Can somebody fill me in? What is he referring to?
I'm confused. Have you been in this situation before?
Run the ball.
I will say this.
Run the dang ball. Absolutely amazing watching that game last night. I just wanted to bring that up because we carried the game. I almost feel like what we saw last night, Tom Brady talked about this. There is such bad football in the NFL right now. It's great for the fans because everybody still has a chance to win the Super Bowl and play here in Phoenix, but man, what an awful play last night for the Denver Broncos. You want to comment? We'll try to sneak in it a little bit later. All right, I do have to change subjects, though, because Adia Barnes is waiting in the wings. I had a chance to catch up with Adia, talk with her about the season, what she did this offseason, the state of the program for the Arizona women's basketball team, the amount of fans and the crush of folks that are buying tickets to go out and see Arizona play this season, and the expectations of a team that everybody in town is talking about. So we'll do that coming up next. The show today is brought to you by Santan Juicy Jack IPA. It's got just a little bit of hint of peach and guava and tangerine, fruity and juicy. Oh, try it. Available everywhere. Santan, say it right, Santan Juicy Jack IPA. Coming up next, my conversation with Adia Barnes. That's next here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. Into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball. Down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home. And foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from mid-court. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's
We're tied.
Huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Last week we had the Red-Blue game, so we saw Tommy Lloyd's new crew get unveiled and the new uniforms and all the rest. But I'm equally as excited about what's going to happen with Adia Barnes and the women's program. So joining us right now, let's welcome Adia Barnes to the program. Our guest here at Wildcats Radio 1290. Adia, bear down. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Long time no speak.
I know. You've been busy. What did you do this summer?
Well, I didn't even feel like there was a summer. It's just so with our new calendar and recruiting and transfers, it's been quite adventurous, but we've gotten some great signees for next year.
So tell me about, let's start with that. Let's start with the team that we're going to see. I sat down with Kate Reese. She came on the program a couple weeks ago, and we talked about the fact that, you really look at Kate. She is the history of you taking over this program. She took a chance at coming to play for you when you're promising we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And it was all a promise, and a lot of that's been fulfilled. So tell me about how recruiting is going right now that you've established this as a national program.
Well, recruiting is great. I think that just, going to the championship game and the Final Four, and then also after that, we didn't have the year we wanted last year, but we still had some success and still exciting style of play, and I think it just helped us. We still have momentum, and then I think that's even carried over more this year because for the 2023 class right now, we have the top class in the country. So I think it's working. I think that we're there. We're not building anymore. Now we're trying to find a way to win a championship.
How has that changed the perception when you call on players or you visit players, or maybe even how many players are calling you going, I want to be a Wildcat, after the run led by Aerie a couple years ago?
It's changed a lot. And the funny thing is, I don't even realize how it's changed until, I started talking to people. So I figured people watched and followed. But it's so funny because now when I'm talking to recruits, and that's 2 years ago, so for me it feels like a long time ago. Now when I talk to the same, recruits and families of the next class, I'm saying 2023, 2024, they all watched it. And they all say, yeah, I remember watching you in the Final Four. And they all talk about like if it was sooner, or like if it was just a year ago, And so I forget that was 2 years ago because it's just people are still really excited about Arizona women's basketball.
Well, I think I told you this. You met my wife because we go watch the radio show every Tuesday, which is her favorite thing to do during the week.
Your wife's my favorite. You can't tell anybody else that.
No, you know what? I won't tell anybody because I don't want her to get a big head because that's my job in the family to be conceited. But we actually have friends coming. I'm pretty good at it. But we have friends actually because she's from Massachusetts. So she's from Western Mass, just outside Springfield. So that's the middle of Geno country. And we actually have friends that are coming out here that are season ticket holders at UConn, but they said, I have to come see Adia. So we actually sent them an I Love Adia shirt, and they wear it around. And they're coming out this year to watch Adia Barnes basketball team. That's the kind of imagination that you've got.
That's funny. That's really cool. We'll have to go meet them.
Absolutely. So, Ari coming back. How did that get to? How does that happen?
So Ari and I have talked. Actually, Ari and I she's walked in my office. Ari, I'll let her come say hi to you because she loves you. But anyway, I knew that she obviously loves playing pro. She's doing great. But I know Ari, and I didn't think she was a really overseas type person because she's a homebody. And so for her to be overseas, but I still said, you need to experience it. She tried to, and she actually ended up coming home. And then this year I was like, okay, I don't want to really pressure her and talk to her about a job because then she's going to get some big contract at the end of the year, and then she's going to be like, sorry, I have to go. So I was waiting for those contracts to come in. She got some good ones. And I was like, well, do you still want to do it? She's like, yeah. And then she got another good contract. I'm like, do you still want to do it? And then one was like, she was like, I got to think about this. And then she decided, because she could make more money overseas. And then we just started talking about it. And they kind of went in their run for the playoffs and came one game short. And then we talked again a couple weeks after the season. And then she said, I want to do it. And I said, are you sure? Do you want to think about it? Talk to your family. Because you remember, she's married, so Devon's in Atlanta. And he has to travel back and forth. So she was passionate. She wanted to see what it's like to be a coach and, just learn this life. And so I was so happy when she decided to say yes. And she was 100%.
Help me out here because, again, I'm an Arizona women's basketball fan. I'm an Adia Barnes fan, not necessarily just a women's basketball fan. I've started watching the game because of you and Ari and Sam and Kate and Lauren, all the different players that you have, and that's what made me fell in love with the sport and watching the games. I don't understand some of the things and the nuances of the game. One of those is the pro players in the WNBA playing overseas or what they do during the offseason. Can you enlighten me a little bit?
Sure. So when I was playing, it was a little different because we didn't have a war overseas. So it was a little different. Well, actually, no, that's funny because when I was playing pro, I went to Israel and we did have a war. So let me backtrack real quick. So in the WNBA back in my days, I had a top 10 salary. So I had number 10, 11, 12, or 11, 12, 13 salary. And that was $39,500, okay? That's not a lot of money. But back then, the top person was making like $90,000 or $100,000 maybe. So it wasn't a lot of money. So most of us, since you had like 8 months to play somewhere else, you could play overseas, make more money tax-free, and then you're working to get in shape and getting better and prepared for the WNBA. If you stayed in the country, you would have to pay for housing, all that stuff. You'd have to pay for someone to work out or pay a trainer. So you were like losing money in essence. And it's hard to get a regular job for just 9 months or 8 months a year. So I'd say 85-90% of us went to Europe. And we played like all over, depending on how good you are at different levels. And back when I was playing, Russia was like the gold mine. Russia was the place you want to go if you want to make like $1 million, if you want to make a lot of money. I mean, no one in Russia made under like $200,000, which was a lot of money back then. Because we would get paid in euros, so 200,000 euros. So that was like equivalent of like $250 here. So it was a lot of money, and you would take home. If you were overseas, you only pay like Social Security taxes because they pay your taxes. So if you made 100, you maybe paid 3, 4, 5,000. You came home with like 90.
Wow.
So it's like it was hard to save that kind of money. I remember, just to put it in reference, and I was a role player, like barely making WNBA teams, but I had an Italian passport, so. I remember I made more money as a player up until a couple years ago. So my first 4 years on the job, I made more money as a player. Not numbers-wise. Number-wise, I've got more here, but cash take-home money, I made more with half the money. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so, and I've talked to you about my son. He's overseas right now. He's actually on a ship going back across the Pacific on his way to Korea. And I talked to him about, wow, this is amazing. You're getting to see more of the world than your dad will ever see in his entire life in just this summer. What was the pros and cons of going to play in Europe and being able to see these beautiful places that normally Americans don't go to?
I loved it. Like my first couple of years, it was really hard. I think when you're like 20, it's hard. because your first couple jobs are not. My first job, I think I made $2,500 a month, but take home. So that'd be like 4 or 5 years. But I lived in Portugal. It was Cespeira, Portugal. It's like a little. If you look on the map, it's a dot on the map that you barely can see in the middle of the Atlantic, and it's an Azore island. And so there's more cows than people. That was really hard. I remember thinking what am I doing here? There was no fast food, no movies, no mall, like a small little island, but it was beautiful. So I was the type that loved to go sightsee and learn the culture, eat at their great restaurants, and I just started to love it. Now, if you would have asked me as a senior in college at Arizona, where are you going to go overseas, I would have said, not if you pay me $10 million. And then you kind of go, you make some money, you're getting better, you're experiencing things, then you come back, you're a better player. So, fast forward, I did it for 13 years, and it's the best decision I ever made in my life. I am different because of it.
What did you learn? What was the big thing that you were able to take culturally that kind of breaks down? We're both from California. I grew up in Northern California. You're from San Diego. What's something that you learned culturally over there that has made you a better communicator, better coach, better leader, better mom?
Everything. Okay, so the first thing I would say is you have to adapt to different. So, I've been on teams where no one spoke English. I had to figure it out. So I was like a homebody, really close to my parents, like a little baby. When I was over there, it's you learned a lot about yourself because you were alone. And remember, I was back there when there wasn't Skype, or there was Skype was just coming. I think there wasn't FaceTime, and we used to spend half our money on phone calls. So culturally learned how to just learned about different cultures, learned about a different life. I didn't have a dryer for probably 11 out of my 13 years overseas. So you had to hang your clothes. You had to learn how to live and learn what it is to live. I think that a couple things that were really life-changing for me was I played 1 year in Israel first. Israel's amazing. All the Americans loved it because everybody spoke English, all the restaurants. It's very Americanized. But I lived, in Jewish culture. And so I got to do all the Jewish holidays, everything, loved it. But my perception at the time, you were taught there, you were scared of Muslim people because that was a very sensitive time. There was Arafat was the president of the Gaza Strip. Remember that?
Right.
Remember that? And there was a war. I was there during the war between Israel and Gaza. And so there was bombs that were intercepted every week, but you didn't even know that when you were there until my parents would watch it on CNN. They would tell me. And then when I was in Israel, you were always taught when you go to a shuk, which is an open market, that if you hear someone say Ali Akbar, speak, if you hear that, then you need to hide because it's a lot of suicide bombing. So you would get scared. You're naturally scared of when you see a Muslim family because you're oh my gosh, it's scary because of the war, and that's what you're kind of taught. And so then the next year for me to go to Turkey and live in a Muslim culture, it was a life-changing thing because they were such beautiful people. They're so clean and loving and family. It's not how Americans use the Muslim culture. It's just not, and not how I viewed it from being in Israel. So that was a life-changing moment for me. And it made me, I love both their cultures and just the people and just the stuff I was exposed to, the way I cook, the way I eat, the way I communicate, the way that I raise my kids. It is different from my experiences overseas. I am a different type of American.
And then there's Salvo, right?
And I met my husband there, so I have another plus.
There you go. I like that. Let's talk about the season coming up. I think we're going to have more season tickets sold this year than any time in the history of Arizona basketball. So it's nice to see the fans continuing this momentum. Banging the drum is one of my favorite things to do. In fact, I was looking through. I was organizing all my photos from the season last year. I think I probably took 250 photos just sitting in the stands of Arizona women's basketball. The fans are coming out. The fans are growing. How much does that make you smile? Because you told me when I first took the job, you said, hey, listen, I showed them my schedule poster and it was wrong. They go, who cares? Nobody's going to ever show up to see you play. Don't worry about it. And now you're one of the biggest draws in town.
Yeah, it's totally changed. I remember when I first got the job, there was 300 people at the games. And I remember we had 300 or 400 season ticket holders. I remember when Ari was here, we made that big push to WNIT year to get 1,000. That was the big thing. So now it's just it's a completely different world. The fans are behind us. It's exciting. McHill's one of the hardest places to play. We don't lose a lot here. I'm just so happy. I didn't know that we would have broken that record already, but I think everybody's excited, and we play an exciting style, and we're getting good recruits. And I think, just to be honest, Rich, one of the biggest things that helps us in recruiting is the fact that we can sell. You're going to play in front of 10,000 people. There's only there's only 6 other teams in the country that are like us. That's why we're number 6. So those are the powerhouses. That's UConn, that's Tennessee, that's South Carolina. So for us to be in that conversation and to get, recruits and say you're going to play in front of 10,000 people, it is attractive and it helps us recruit.
How much of it was how much did it mean to the team last year? Because I know fans were rallying each other. We were talking about on the radio, trying to beat Oregon and try to set a Pac-12 mark. When you see that kind of push, what does that do for morale of the team?
Well, the team they're not really into that. So, they don't really know about the tickets. I told them, and they kind of tweeted some stuff, but they don't follow that stuff. They just know when they come to the gym, there's a lot of people, and they love it.
Right.
They don't know, number 1 in the Pac-12, and they don't know that we're number 5 nationally. They wouldn't know that.
They're busy doing other stuff like hydrating because I'm tired of them not hydrating enough.
No, they're too busy on TikTok and stuff. Don't let them fool you.
Exactly. Adia Barnes joining us here on Wildcats Radio 1290. A couple things before we let you go. The team for next year. Let's talk a little bit about what we're going to see because we did churn over the roster. We've got Kate that we talked to. Talk to us about what you're anticipating the lineup to look like and what the depth is for this team.
Well, we're going to be – I feel like we have a really good team on paper. I think we have potential to be really special. Now, how that's going to all come together, it's to be determined. But I think, if you look at Shayna playing at a really high level as a point guard leading us, she's in a good place. She's improved a lot. If you see her shot and stuff, it's improved tremendously. Her mid-range shot looks amazing right now. So I'm just happy. She didn't go to the World Championship. She decided to stay here and focus on Arizona women's basketball. So I'm just really happy with how she's doing right now. Then you have Maddie, who's so young still. She could technically be a freshman because she's got a COVID year. She's playing well. She's in great shape. She's shooting the ball really well, really confident. Then you go Lamaya. She's one of our new freshmen. She's long and athletic, and she's already ready to play our style of defense. And she's just continuing to get better and better. And then you go I'm going numerically. And then you go Esmeri. Esmeri is a beast. She's physical. She's a tremendous offensive rebounder. She stretches the floor. She shoots the 3. She's experienced, came from winning programs, so she's going to really help us. And then Helena's playing her best basketball right now. She looks great. She's confident. Helena for us plays a 1, 2, 3, 4. She's the most selfless player and just important for what we do. And then Kaylin Gilbert, freshman, has surprised a lot of people. She's super strong. She can score a different way. She can handle the ball. She just has to learn and adjust to the pace of college, which is all the freshmen do. But she's going to be a really good player. And next to her, Paris. Paris is skilled. Paris is really good in transition, open court, can handle it, can flash, smart. I think she's getting stronger, which all the freshmen are. But she's going to be a really good player and can play multiple positions. And then transfer, you have Lauren Fields. Lauren Fields. She technically has 2 more years. She's a strong, bigger guard that plays tremendous defense and can score. Really fast, athletic. Adds to us on the wing. And then the last 4 players, Kate Reese, obviously. Kate Reese is coming off her injury. She's looking great in practice. She looks strong. She looks fit. She's performing well. She just has to get her shoulder 100%. And then Jayla Ball, coming from ASU, I'm sure the ASU fans are going to hate her, but she's a beast.
Yeah, we have no curtains, so she's going to be great. There's no curtain of distraction here for her. We just have the zone of zoo. It's going to go crazy, right?
Exactly. Well, she has a jump shot. She can score, shoot the 3, so she'll spread the floor for Shayna a lot. You got to guard her. Gives us probably one of the best scorers we've had since I've been here. And then you got Lauren and Maya. Lauren Ware, she's coming off a little bit of an injury right now, but she's fine. She's in great shape, fit, stronger, shooting the ball well, communicating well like always, in a really good place, playing great. I'm really happy. And then the last freshman Maya. Maya's a dream. She's a great obstacle course. She's a worker on the court. She's tough. She's a gym rat. She can shoot, has a nice shot. She can shoot the three, mid-range, strong inside. I think, she's one of the players that's like the future of this program. And so, I love our class, everything.
All right, Adia, before we wrap everything up, let's talk about the schedule. Folks haven't got their season tickets yet or looking through the schedule. Give me some of the highlights.
We're playing some good teams at home. Kansas is a tournament team. Good talent, returning a lot of great players. We're playing, LMU here will be good. We're playing and NAU. NAU is always an in-state rival that's fun and good. We're playing ASU right after Christmas, right before the Pac-12 starts. And then we have some tough road games. We're at the Baylor for a big showdown, Big 12, Pac-12 showdown. And then right after that, we go down to UT Arlington. Those are tough road games. And then we're going down to San Diego for a tournament. So we have some good games and a lot of things that will prepare us well for the Pac-12.
It is going to be a fun season. If you don't have your tickets yet, call 621-CATS or go to ArizonaWildcats.com. Season tickets are still available. They're on a record-setting pace, and we're probably expecting 10,000 people a game. It's going to be a place to be during the basketball season. Oh, by the way, one last question, because if I don't ask this, I'll get in trouble when I go home. Are you planning on going coaching gear like Tommy Lloyd, kind of casual, or are we dressing up this year on the sideline? Because you know who wants to know that question. There's two people that want to know, my wife and your husband.
Yeah, it's going to be both. We're going to dress up and be casual. If we go to Washington State, we're in Pullman, we're going to be in sweats. But for a lot of TV games, we'll dress up. So we're going to be, it's 50-50.
So Salvo's going to be happy.
No, he's not going to be happy because it's not 100% dressing up. But happy. They don't say happy. They don't say happy husband, happy life. They say happy wife, happy life.
You know what? That's true. I know my place. I know who's in charge of my house.
Exactly. See, smart man.
I've been married going on 25 years. I know who's in charge, and I know that if it weren't for her, I'd be sitting there in the dark on a beach chair watching a black and white television, eating SpaghettiOs out of a can and be completely lost. So if it wasn't for her, I would be absolutely lost.
That's funny. That's how Salvo would be.
Hey, Dia, thank you for doing this. Give my best to the entire team. You know what a big fan I am of yours. I'll see you at the first coaches show once we get going, and we'll see you out there. And, by the way, tell the kids we said hello as well.
Yeah, I will. Thank you. Tell your wife I said hi, too, and thanks for everything.
Absolutely. Dia Barnes joining us here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Pull it down, and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard. Goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins. Throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three. Blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it. It's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way. Out to Tabellas. Down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
4th down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on 4th down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's hot! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his 3rd foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like one driving down. That was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berrios. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line.
No one covers sports like him. The Rich Herrera Show. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on 1290. The home of Arizona football. And Rich Herrera is Wildcats Radio 1290. Rich Herrera on Wildcats Radio 1290.
We continue with you live from Illegal Pete's here on University, right next to the Bear Down Rally. The weather's starting to get a little sketchy outside, so we made our way inside for the broadcast today. Don't forget, on the air with you tomorrow, 1:30. 1:30 will be our broadcast time leading up to the 6 o'clock kickoff. Now, in case you're just tuning in case you've been living under a rock, in case you haven't been paying attention, tomorrow's ball game is a sellout. Gone. Goodbye. See ya. Don't ask me for tickets. I don't have any, nor do they have any at the box office. This is going to be the biggest crowd Arizona Stadium's seen in years. 2015 was the last time the Cats sold out a game. It was against UCLA. 2015 was the last time the Cats had a sellout in Arizona. And it was interesting. You know, I talked to Dave Hickey this week. I was texting back and forth with him and told him, hey, listen, we're going to keep pumping up, trying to get people to come out to the game. I'm so thrilled that we're going to have a sellout for the game coming up on Saturday. And I think the team is as well. So I want to play you just a couple sound bites from this week, from the coaches, from Jed Fish, from Johnny Nansen and Brennan Carroll, the coordinators, on what you're going to mean to this team while they go up against the mighty Oregon Ducks. First of all, we asked Johnny Nansen and Brennan Carroll about the difference the crowd could make and what they were looking for with the crowd getting closer and closer to a sellout. Here's Johnny Nansen and Brennan Carroll both commenting.
Oh, it's going to be huge. And if you guys are listening, we need your help. Yeah, it's going to be huge.
Show up, show out.
That's right.
Zona Zoo, where you at?
Zona Zoo, where you at? Arizona, where you at? Tucson, where you at? Tucson showed up, and they're going to get behind this team. Here's Jed this week. He was asked about playing in front of this huge crowd, in front of the players being able to be able to see and watch and experience excitement that comes with a big crowd. Here's Jed Fish, cut 6.
Yeah, well, to me, it's about our players. It's amazing for our players to be able to run out of the tunnel to a full house. They work extremely hard. Our players, our coaches, our assistant coaches, those guys are committed to trying to turn Arizona football around and to do everything they possibly can to build this program into what we want it to be. Our student body wants a great product, a good product, a great game, opportunities to cheer on a program that is moving in the right direction. It's awesome that they're joining, and I think the Zona Zoo has been phenomenal this year. The community of Tucson, the fact that they're coming to watch us play and cheer us on is awesome, and all of that is a credit to the way our players are playing. The fact that Jaden DeLora chose to come to Arizona, the fact that Jacob Cowling chose to come to Arizona.
About 30 seconds.
Turner and Christian Roland Wallace and Keon Bars decided to return to Arizona and not walk away when there was adversity. All of those things, and so many other players. The fact that T-Mac chose to be a Wildcat, and Noah Fafita and Dorian Singer and so on and so forth, and all these guys that wanted to be joined.
10 seconds. Great
to see that they're being rewarded for their hard work, and it's a lot of fun with that Wildcat Walk if we can absolutely pack the streets and pack the stadium.
Well, he got his wish. They're going to pack the stadium. They're going to pack the stadium. It's a sellout. They're going to play in front of the first sellout since a long time. That's pretty special. That's pretty special. This is going to be the first sellout in forever for the Arizona Wildcats. And the question that was asked when Jed went through all that, talking about the Zona Zoo and the community and everything, I actually, what I had asked Jed was, talk to me about the process, because Jed's big on the process. I'm big on the process. If the process is pure, the results will come. Meaning, if you do things the right way, you might not get if you do things the right way, if the process is pure, you might not get the results right away. But eventually, if the process is pure, you're going to get the result eventually. Now, if you just try to get through and get the result without having a pure process, yeah, every once in a while you might hit a perfect golf shot, and then if your swing is still all messed up next time out, your hands are going to be in the wrong spot, you're not going to accelerate through, your hands will break the wrong way. It's like anything in life. If you don't do it the right way, you can't get the right result. So what I asked Jed was, and he's been preaching the process, and part of the process for him has been going out there in the community, getting involved, going to the fraternity houses, going out to speak to Rotary clubs, going out doing his radio show, going out there and asking people. Every time he got an opportunity the first couple of years here, he talked about the need, pleading for fans, please come out and support our team, please come out and see us play, please come out and be part of all of this. So I had asked him that question specifically because I think he's a large part responsible for the sellout that we're going to have. Certainly it's Parents Weekend. That's great. Oregon, great opponent. There's going to be some Oregon fans that are going to roll in here. Oregon also has a lot of ties to California, so there's a lot of people that are going to come in here from California to come see the Oregon Ducks play in this part of the country. But a lot of it is the excitement, the excitement that we've built with Arizona football, the goodwill that Jed Fish has built, the fact that it's a winning football team right now with 3-2. Folks have come out, they've seen a good product, they're excited about it, they know the Arizona Wildcats are going to try and they're going to play hard, and that's what Arizona's respecting enough to come out and watch these games. So for Jed, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Jed has been out there. He has been tireless trying to get people to come out and get excited and engage with this football team, and that's exactly what they did. Now, he talked about the home field advantage. I know what the home field advantage is. I've been around doing this long enough that if you play in front of a stadium and they bring it and they have energy and they bring a crowd in there, it makes all the difference in the world. Here's Jed Fish talking about when you have a true home field advantage. This is cut 7.
Well, there's always, a home field advantage is home field advantage.
Hey, we got Paul on the phone if you want to take him.
I'll take him next.
It's something that our players will embrace. And, at some point in time, the players play, right? I was actually listening to Jay Wright's book on my way in today called Attitude. And in that book, he says, as the coach, you just say, don't worry about where we play. Don't worry about the stadium if it's empty or full. Let's just take care of our business on the court. But as the basketball CEO, as he said, the greatest thing in the world is a full house. The greatest thing that your kids want to be able to play in front of a full packed house. The opportunity to
about 10 seconds.
To be cheered on. The opportunity for these fans to celebrate with you. And as I was listening to that chapter called Beyond Basketball this morning, it rang true.
So true. So true. It is going to be amazing watching it. And again, I'm going to give Jed all the credit in the world that he made this happen. He went out there and he did the extra work. He could have just coached football, but he said, I'm going to get this whole entire community behind this team. And, it's such a big opportunity for the Cats tomorrow to put on a good show and have people come back for the next home game against the USC Trojans. Let me go talk to Paul in Phoenix, celebrity caller. I got to sneak you in on a day that we have so many interviews, but I do have to take time to make sure that I get you on the air. So welcome, Paul. Bear down. How are you?
Good, Rich. Bear down. You know what? It's Paul. It kind of by way of Phoenix. I am now in your fair city right now, sir, and I'm gonna
you
wander
came down
over
early?
about an hour or so, hour and a half. Yes, I came down early this time, and I'm bringing grandkids and wife and daughter, and we're all going to be at the game tomorrow night. And you know what, Rich? The key, like you've all said, everybody's, what a gauntlet this team has to go through, 5 straight teams. We're not worried about that. It's one game. It's one play. It's one ranked team that we have to deal with, and that's tomorrow. Only tomorrow. There's nothing else that's going to change that. Nothing. And I hope I sleep tonight. I know you probably won't, but I know I'm so excited. This is it'll be a lot of fun. And thanks to all the fans who are going to show up and be loud and be proud. This team deserves it. This coaching staff continues, like you said. They just coach just does it one play at a time, and I love it. I love it. And you know what? Thanks to you, JW, Kelvin, Glenn. Who else am I missing? Trung, you going to have Trung on tomorrow, maybe?
Trung's going to be on.
Who else are you going to have on tomorrow?
Heath Bray's going to come on. Oh, and you got to mention Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball, absolutely. Got Dragon Ball. You guys keep up the good work. Work hard. I will probably see you later this evening as you slowly wrap up your show. I may even bother you tomorrow, but I definitely want to see if I can have you at least meet my grandkids, and that's the important thing. But everybody in Tucson, it's a big game tomorrow. Get your rest, get your hydration, your good water, and all that good stuff. And let's have a fun game tomorrow. Let's have a good time. Let's make some memories tomorrow.
I'll throw this out at you as well. They're already getting the word out because this is going to be a huge crowd. This is going to be a monster crowd. Biggest crowd Arizona football seen since 2017. So just a reminder, I'll say this to you and to everybody else out there. Paul, when you go to the game tomorrow, give yourself extra time to get there. Let me throw this out as a public service announcement to everybody. Give yourself plenty of time to get in the stadium. This is not 2 years ago where you walk in and there's 10,000 people and you just waltz right in. There's going to be lines. There are going to be people that are going to come to this game for the very first time and haven't been to Arizona Stadium since COVID. There's going to be people that have probably never been to Arizona Stadium. Give yourself plenty of time. Get there early, and I know what's going to happen, Paul. Come Monday, and by the way, I absolutely hate this about the media, and I hate this about our society, that we'll get the Arizona fans react because somebody will start complaining on Twitter, or this person reacts. Stop reacting to everything. Stop being such big babies. I'll just tell you this. get there early. If you get there an hour before the game, give yourself an extra half hour, 45 minutes. Spend some time in the community with the people. Get out there, get in your seats early, get warmed up. Be there early, start making noise, start pouring the energy into the building. But whatever you do, don't show up at the last minute and then get upset that you can't get through. Get there early.
Really. And you know what? All those folks out there listening, Section 25, we're bringing it. We're bringing it tomorrow night. I'm telling you right now. Section 25, we're bringing it. So come prepared.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. The difference between good Bo and bad Bo is in Bo Nix, and that's what they said at Auburn. They had the very best of them, and then they had games where he struggled. At home, Bo Nix is pretty unbeatable. On the road, Bo Nix can get rattled. Bo Nix, when he's asked to do things, and it's on the road and it's an unfriendly environment, there are times where he will press and he will spit the bit. So if the fans come tomorrow, and this is something we'll talk about during basketball season, we have a tendency here in the Pac-12 and in Tucson in particular that the crowd is great and will feed off the team. So if the team does something spectacular, everybody stands up and they get excited and they start making noise. That's great. But what I think, I know Tommy Lloyd wants to see this, and boy, Jed Fish could only dream of this, but if it happens tomorrow, it'll be a dream come true, that the team is able to feed off the energy of the crowd. And I'll give you examples of where that happens. Camp Randall Stadium with Wisconsin. I know they just fired their coach, but when that crowd starts jumping around in the fourth quarter to a House of Pain's jump, the entire energy, energy of the entire stadium, and the team feeds off of that. In Florida, that's where Jed went to school. You know, he tried the anthem last year that we were going to sing the Kenny Chesney song, because in Florida right now, fourth quarter comes, they play Tom Petty and won't back down. When he passed away, they started playing it just as a tribute, and it became viral. Tom Petty's a native of Gainesville. He used to work as a groundskeeper at the Swamp. But once they start playing that, the crowd gets into it, and they feed off of it. When you go to Alabama, and I've done Alabama games, when I go to Ole Miss, and I've been down there, I've been to Florida State when they start doing the chomp, Florida when they start doing the chomp. The energy that you feel at Florida State when Chief Osceola plants that flaming spear on the 50-yard line, the crowd goes crazy before the team even walks out of the field, and when that happens, the team feeds off that energy, and they get this superpower. At the University of Miami, when they come walking through that smoke at a Miami Hurricane game, the entire crowd is giving them energy. They walk through that smoke, and I've heard Miami players saying, it gives me superpowers to walk out there and get after it. That's what the Arizona Wildcats need on a consistent basis. They really need it tomorrow against a highly ranked Oregon team. If the crowd is into it from before the game even starts, and the crowd gives the energy, and the Oregon Ducks are going to walk in here, wait a minute, this is the Pac-12. People don't act like that here. This is Tucson. This team won one game last year. Look at these fans going crazy. It can make all the difference in the world.
That's right. And you know, Rich, I'm glad you also brought up about Bo Nix. He's that 8th or 9th year senior, something like that?
I think he's 35 years old.
Pressure him. Pressure him early and often. Has to be early and often. And we need to get right in his head and teach him, let him know what it's all about. You know what? Let's do it. Rich, bear down. I'll probably see you later on, my friend.
All right, thanks for the call. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Number for you to join us, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Juicy Jack IPA from our friends at Santan, bringing you today's program. All right, coming up on the show, we will go through a complete and total breakdown of the Oregon Ducks with my buddy Steve Tannen from our sister station in Eugene, Oregon. We'll do that for you. I had a chance to catch up with him before his show started today, so I'll bring that coming up for you at the bottom of the hour. But coming up next, can the Ducks be upset? Can the Ducks be upset? Well, yeah, I think they can. Can the Cats take down the Ducks? If it happens, I'm going to tell you a couple things that we're going to touch on in the pregame show tomorrow that have to happen for the Arizona Wildcats to come away with the dub. That's next here at 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Krisa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Krisa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from mid-court. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berrios. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where.
On Wildcats Radio 1290.
The one and only Rich Herrera radio show rolls on, gracing your radio this afternoon live from Illegal Pete's. We actually came inside because the weather's getting a little blustery out there and threat of rain coming up later today. So we thank everybody for listening to the program. Really appreciate it. We're going to give you a real good scouting report on the Oregon Ducks coming up here in just a bit with Steve Tannen. He works at our sister station up in Eugene, Oregon. He's a sports talk show host up there that covers the Oregon Ducks. So he's going to join us at the bottom of the hour. I actually had to record him a little bit earlier with his show being on at the same time as ours. So we'll have that full report for you coming up, and we'll walk through everything from the defense of Oregon and what they're going to throw at the Cats, what the offense has been able to do, and what the Ducks are trying to accomplish as they come down to Tucson to take on the Arizona Wildcats. If you want to sneak in a call, I got a couple minutes right here, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Again, Bear Down Friday on Wildcats Radio 1290 is brought to you by our friends at Corona. So thanks to Corona, an official corporate sponsor of the Arizona Wildcats. 520-848-1290. If you like to sneak in. And again, I'll remind everybody, I'll just keep harping on this. I'll keep telling everybody, get there early tomorrow. It will be a sellout. It is a sellout. It's going to take extra time. It's going to take the little places that you normally park are not going to be there. The little places you normally go and, maybe I go park in the neighborhood, they're not going to be there. Maybe I'll go and I sneak in over here, or this is my favorite spot. It's not going to be there because everybody in town is showing up for this football game. So make sure you give yourself plenty of extra time. Those of you that are coming to a game for the very first time, hey, congratulations. Excited you're coming to a game. Just remember, download your tickets ahead of time. Download your tickets ahead of time. Download your tickets ahead of time. Make sure that you don't bring in backpacks and huge purses, clear bags, because you're not going to be able to bring them into the stadium. Give yourself plenty of extra time to get to the stadium. Get there early. Enjoy the atmosphere. Enjoy the band warming up. Enjoy all of that. Go out with the tailgaters. Brother John's going to be out there from Brother John's Barbecue. He'll be out there, and he'll be cooking. So you want to go by and have lunch with Brother John. There's going to be lots of stuff going on out there at Arizona Stadium. So go by, enjoy yourself, but make sure you get there early so you're not one of those guys coming up on Monday calling, Rich, I went out to the game for the very first time, and I got there for the game starting at 6, and I got there at 5:59, and I couldn't get in. Come on. You're going to a football game. Go enjoy the entirety of the game, the pageantry, the majesty, the ambiance. Be part of the excitement of the energy. Get there early and bring your voices and bring your energy and help the Cats as they try to take out the Oregon Ducks. Now, how are the Cats going to do this? Because in all reality, the Oregon Ducks should beat the Cats. I've seen everywhere from beating them by 20 to 25 points is the predictions that I'm seeing all over the internet, and that's fine because these are people that watch both teams but don't study both teams intently. I watch and study the Arizona Wildcats intently. I kind of find out what's going on with their opponents. I've always said this because I've done a lot of national radio, a lot of local radio. I know the local teams much more than I do all the national teams. I just don't have the bandwidth to know everything about every team in college football. So I kind of know what the Cats are about, and then I try to scout and figure out what Oregon's going to be about. And next week I'll do the same for Washington. But you got a pretty good idea what the Cats bring to the table. The Cats are going to be a defense that is bend, don't break. The Cats need to tackle better. So let me run through all the things that I think the Cats need to do on Saturday to come away with a W and shock and upset the world. Now, like I said, the Ducks are big favorites. Big favorites against the Cats, and rightfully so. And I think the number, we talked about this earlier, that in the week, that the number was going to continue to go higher. for the Arizona Wildcats, because conventional wisdom says I'm going to go bet against the Cats. I'm going to go bet on the Ducks. They're in the top 25. They've only lost one game. They've rebounded. Arizona has lost a couple games. They only won one last year. This seems like a no-brainer. Throw all your money on the Oregon Ducks to win this game. I get it. You should do that if you're watching for conventional wisdom. Now, we also said that, look, the number is going to keep going up, and it's going to keep going up, and it's going to keep going up. Where will it end up? We'll have to see tomorrow morning, because I have a feeling the more the number goes up for Oregon, the more value you're going to be able to find later on during the week. So, with that being said, here's a couple things that I think Arizona needs to do in order to keep this game close. Keep this game close. And it's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. It's kind of a clown question to even throw this out, but these are the important things I think for Arizona. Number one, we keep talking about Bo Nix, and I probably talk about Bo Nix too much because it's easy to do good Bo, bad Bo, and there's so much that's been written about him. But with all of that being said, you've got to stop the run, first and foremost. Now, Oregon, you think of Chip Kelly, boom, throwing the ball down the field. This isn't Chip Kelly's offense anymore. This is the leftover remnants of what Mario Cristobal wanted to do while he was with the Oregon Ducks. And it's funny because down in Miami, they're starting to roast him as well. He wanted a power running game. He wanted to run the ball down your throat. That's what he was looking to do. He left big linemen, big powerful linemen, and they wanted just to take the ball and just shove it down your throat and play ball control offense, eat up the clock. That's what Oregon's offense was under Mario Cristobal. Well, now Dan Lanning's come over here. He's the former defensive coordinator of Georgia. Now that he's taken over the Ducks, he basically has the leftover remnants of that team. It's a big team with big physical offensive linemen. They continue to want to run the football. So they're going to try to run the football as much as they can. Arizona has got to be able to stop the run. In particular, they got to stop the run in between the tackles. That's interior. It's going to be all day long. Jerry Roberts has to have a good game. Jalen Harris has to be able to set the edge. That's going to be the key for the Arizona Wildcats. They've got to stop the run, and they've got to tackle. They've got to bring down the ball carrier by the time they get back to the linebacker. If we see Christian Young and Roland Wallace with Christian Roland Wallace with 7, 8, 9, 10 tackles, it's going to be a long day for the Arizona Wildcats. First and foremost, stop the run. Next, they got to put pressure on Bo Nix, and this is where I'll go to the good Bo versus bad Bo. Bo Nix is not going to put the ball up like Jaden DeLora. They're going to use him in selected situations, but when they do, he has been absolutely untouched. He only has been sacked, I believe, once this year, just once this year. Hunter Echols and the rest of the Arizona Wildcats have to put pressure on him. He's rattleable. You can rattle him and cause him to throw the ball away, or even worse, throw an INT here and there. You have to be able to take the ball and put pressure on him up the gut, chase him out of the pocket. His percentage rates go down, and he is liable to throw the ball away or throw the ball to an Arizona Wildcat. So they've got to be able to put pressure and try to sack Bo Nix, hurry him, knock him on his rear end, and they've got to be able to sack him. Number three, our buddy Rich in Chicago who calls in, friend of mine, does a bunch of research, looks up things for me. Oregon last week had, I think it was almost 90 yards in penalties for them. They ended up picking up 90 yards in penalties. Arizona's games that they've won don't commit penalties, maybe one penalty a game. The games that they struggle at, they just keep giving up yards over and over and over again, committing stupid penalties. Arizona's got to play a clean game in order for this thing to work to upset the Oregon Ducks. Number 4 of the things that I want to see Arizona do in order to come up with a victory, and all of these are doable, don't throw interceptions. Jaden DeLora has got to keep the ball in control. Play within control. Play within control, Jaden DeLora. Don't try to be a hero. Don't force a ball where it doesn't belong. He's got to be able to make his throws and be able to play in control. If he does that, Arizona has a chance to keep this a one-possession ball game in the fourth quarter. So if I'm Arizona, you've got to put Jaden DeLora in a position where he's not being asked to get a ball down the field at 3rd and 25, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 8. Keep the ball in manageable positions for him and don't ask him to do too much. And then the last thing, this crowd's got to make a difference. This crowd's got to make a difference. You saw that very first game of the season, and I'm not comparing Arizona to Georgia, but you saw that game that was played down in Atlanta was basically a home game for the Georgia Bulldogs, and the crowd made a difference against Oregon. They rattled them. Listen, coming in here today, I know Oregon thinks, it's a sellout. I guess they're going to have a lot of fans. But they're not sure, or they don't know, because I don't know. How much energy are you going to bring, Tucson? How are you going to bring it against the Oregon Ducks? If they walk in here and it becomes a hostile environment, if it becomes a true home field advantage for the Arizona Wildcats, they might not know what hit them. So Tucson, you might be the difference maker in this ball game as well. So those are a couple things that I'm looking at. If Arizona's going to pull off the victory and shock the world, they've got to be able to do these things. And if they do, you never know what we're going to be talking about after the ball game coming up on Saturday night. Don't forget, we're on the air with you at 1:30 in the afternoon. We're actually going to do the show from the studios because there is a threat of thunder showers in the afternoon. So instead of being out in the mall in front of everybody, we're actually going to do the show from our studios. But then we'll hustle back over to the stadium for Arizona and Oregon. So we'll do the show from our studios at 1:30, counting down to the 6 o'clock kick, Arizona taking on the Oregon Ducks. All right, coming up on the program, Steve Tannen, talk show host up in Eugene. I'm going to sit down with him. I sat down with him a little bit earlier. We're going to run through everything about the Oregon Ducks and the Arizona Wildcats. We go in depth, really breaking down what the Ducks are all about. You're going to want to hear that next here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Krisa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Krisa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out toward for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down, and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. Into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's hot! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's
We're tied.
Huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps up in the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big.
Rolling on the field is a safety.
Yes. That's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Hebert. They just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
Opener against Georgia in Atlanta, if you're talking about it from an Oregon football perspective, way, way better.
What's the deal with those uniforms for this weekend?
You mean you don't like the I always call it, it's like the cookie ice cream? It's just, the funny thing is, I started having this conversation on my show in 1999 when Joey Harrington started being the quarterback and they started going away from just the traditional green and yellow. And at a certain point, I was like, you know what? I just can't with the uniforms anymore. And somebody point blank told me in marketing, Steve, how old are you? At the time I was in my 40s, he was like, nobody cares what you think. These are aimed at the young guys, the recruits. It's all anybody talks about. They love it, and that's what we're rolling with.
It is a national brand. I will tell you, I lived down in the middle of the Southeastern Conference country, and kids would walk around with Oregon gear because it was so fresh. So they're 100% right. Explain to our fans here down at Tucson what we're going to see Oregon come out with, which I think is a bold fashion statement.
Like I said, cookies and cream ice cream. And you look at it, it's white, and you look at it, it's like, did somebody forget to do the laundry? Because it looks kind of dirty, but that's it. It's white. I mean, if you looked at last week, Oregon had bright green, bright yellow lettering, and this week you would think, well, that's not even the same program. That's not even the same football team. So for anybody who watched Oregon last week, take a moment. It really is the Ducks.
What goes into the organization of those football uniforms? I saw something on ESPN years ago where there was an assistant golf coach who was in charge of making sure that they don't wear the same uniform twice.
Yeah, well, what happens is if you are a season ticket holder or you go on the Oregon site, goducks.com, they will tell you, especially for home games, to be synchronized with what they're wearing. They'll say, wear black this week, wear green, wear yellow, wear white. So they take it seriously. Like you just alluded to, it's usually somebody, a heck of a lot younger than me because I just turned 62. And they make it part of the marketing, and people adhere to it. And, of course, who's kidding who? If somebody says, well, we're going to the game this week and we got to wear green, how many people are like, whoop, got to go out and buy some green Duck gear?
The fashionistas at Oregon are rolling into Tucson to take on the Cats coming up. We'll be on the air with you at 1:30 with our pregame show. 6 o'clock will be the kick. All right, let's talk about the game. Give me a snapshot preview of good Bo versus bad Bo in the running game of Oregon.
Well, when you look at the history of Oregon, I should say the recent history since maybe the Joey Harrington era. I mean, he was great. We had Marcus Mariota, Heisman quarterback, Darren Thomas, Justin Herbert. When this program achieves, when they get in the national title picture, when they get in the division picture, when they get in the conference picture, they run the ball really effectively, whether it's LaMichael James, Royce Freeman is an NFL player right now, Kenyon Barner. And right now, based on what happened, they lost C.J. Verdell and they lost Travis Dye, who have been their two big guns basically for the last 4 years. And I would say those guys were effective and productive, but they turned over the whole roster. We thought that the guy who gained about 500 yards last year, Byron Cardwell, would just upgrade up the depth chart. He's had some injury issues, but this 1-2 punch of Bucky Irving, who is the transfer from Minnesota, and Noah Whittington, who transferred in from Western Kentucky, these guys, I just got to tell you, they're just better. When you watch them run, they have incredible patience using their blockers. They hit holes as they appear, and last week, if you didn't check the numbers, they ran for about 350 against Stanford, which traditionally has a really good run defense. So it's going to be run to keep that Arizona passing attack watching.
So do I need to worry about Bo Nix? Whether I'm going to get the Bo Nix that is so comfortable playing at home or the Bo that struggles at time on the road?
Yeah, well, first of all, I thought it was wise that they kind of burned the tape against Georgia because he looked completely overmatched. And he had a slow start last week, and actually against Washington State, and you alluded to it, it was at the Palouse, it was on the road. He took some time to get his footing, in particular in the red zone. But sometimes I think fans get a little impatient, and you'll have a 5-star guy, and it'd be like, well, it's his second year. Why isn't he coming across with the goods? I think it's possible you could look at Bo Nix now and say, this is a guy who started for Auburn in 2019, and here in 2022, he's just matured a lot. He doesn't let mistakes bother him, and, he obviously has a really good arsenal at his disposal, and I just think he's matured to the point where, bad Bo might flash here and there, but not so on a regular basis, if that makes sense.
How comfortable is he that he's back with Ken Dillingham, who's the offensive coordinator for the Ducks, for everyone here in Tucson, and had been with him at Auburn when he had that sensational breakout freshman year?
No, I think they're very much on the same page. And I think when you look at his demeanor, There's a mentality if you're a closer in baseball and you give up a homer, the next day you got to forget about it. You got to go back out there and shut the door in the ninth inning. Same kind of thing with a cornerback. If you get burned for a big touchdown, the next week, you can't be Doc Brown, get the DeLorean and go back in time. You've got to move forward. He seems to have a really good ability to shake off mistakes, hit delete, and kind of take a step forward. And I think Coach Dillingham, who's constantly in his ear and working with him, keeps him on kind of that even keel. And if you hear this kid talk, he could have just won the national championship game or just lost to an FCS team with 5 interceptions. You wouldn't know the difference. He's really even-keeled, really balanced young guy.
Steve, when I look at the Oregon offensive line, I think it's a residual of Mario Cristobal, who wanted to run a power running game, and these guys have just gotten better and better and better. Take a second to talk about the offensive line.
Yeah, well, first, Adrian Clem is the coach, and he's been an NFL guy. He's been with the Steelers the last few years. So I thought it was interesting that he would leave such a prestigious organization in the National Football League to come here and take this job. And the way he's worked with them, and, they haven't been 100% healthy. Ryan Walk, their starting left guard, missed some time. Stephen Jones, their starting right guard, has missed some time. They've moved guys like Marcus Harper in there. So they've kind of mixed and matched, but just remained really effective. And like I said, I think it's kind of twofold, because it's the way the runners are patient in hitting the hole, and it's also the way that Nix can roll out either way. That guy buys time, and you could see, he didn't get sacked for the first time until last game, and it was mainly because he broke contain and got stopped a half yard behind the line of scrimmage. But otherwise, if he goes down, you see to a man, the offensive line runs over and picks him up. There's a real nice sense of unity there.
He's been clean all season. If teams tried to blitz, have they tried to stunt, or have they just been stymied everything they've tried to do?
Yeah, I gotcha. Just don't.
Yeah,
don't
and that is another thing I didn't mention about Irving and Whittington, and they're running multiple tight end sets with guys like Terrence Ferguson and Cam McCormick, Justin Herbert's brother, Patrick Herbert, and those guys are all, while they can catch the ball, run the ball, they are outstanding in pass protection.
We had a caller the other day that talked about Bo's favorite wide receiver. Talk to me about the receiving corps.
Well, Troy Franklin has become the money man. What happened is, coming into the season, there were guys like Chris Hudson and Sevin McGee and Josh Delgado, Dante Thornton, and Troy Franklin. They were really young. You knew they were talented. They were highly recruited. They added Chase Cota, who's the vet from UCLA, that offers some stability, and he made a big play last week, and he's kind of like the stabilizing force. But Troy Franklin, with the big touchdown catch to put him ahead against Washington State, he made a fantastic catch in the end zone last week, kind of straddling the sideline, and he's become their go-to guy. He's got that spectacular gene. But again, hearkening back to the Chip Kelly era with the wide receivers, the no block, no rock, they are also really physical and really willing to engage in the running game.
If they struggle at all offensively, we'll throw the Georgia game out because I think that's just an anomaly. Where have they struggled at times?
I would say when the game starts, and you mentioned it, it seems on the road that if there's a misfire, that it takes a little bit to get the engine revving. I don't know that I would refer to them as a great passing team yet, though they've had some good games as far as the numbers. And I think also you have to realize this is a completely new staff, new running backs, a new quarterback. The offensive line is kind of the stability, the rock there. So it's 5 games in. I think they're also, it's a matter of they still are coming together. They're still gelling. And I think, and I'm sure the goal is, as good as they were a couple weeks ago, as good as they are right now, that they'll progress and even be better as the weeks move along, if nobody gets hurt, which is always a caveat.
It'll be interesting because we will have a huge crowd. I think we were, a day ago, 600 tickets away from a sellout, so this will be the biggest crowd Arizona Stadium's seen. We haven't had a sellout down here in Tucson since 2015, but there's going to be a ton of fans to greet the Ducks when they come in. Defensively, give me a thumbnail sketch on Oregon defensively.
Well, first of all, I know when folks around here think of the Zona Zoo, it's more the 2009 game and I think 2014. So it was like last week when Oregon was a 17-point favorite against Stanford and they're an 11, 12-point favorite. People are like, yeah, whatever. It's just a different deal down there. But defensively, when the season started, the logic was the front seven would be the standouts. You had Brandon Dorless, the duet, the 5 stars at linebacker on the inside, Noah Sewell, Justin Flo, DJ Johnson, who rushes the quarterback effectively. But I look at 2 guys in the secondary, Christian Gonzalez, the transfer from Colorado, who I had a feeling, based on some folks I know with the Buffs, who said this guy's going to come in. He's just mature. He's wise. And Bennett Williams, who's their nickelback, and he was off to a really good start last year, but got hurt week 4 and was done for the season. So to me, it's just like they've added these 2 guys on the back end, which has just really brought some consistency and stability. But we've also seen they've had trouble with their safeties and passes up the middle, whether it's been Jamal Hill, one of the safeties, Brian Addison, Steve Stevens. And, of course, when you think about what they're walking into here with Delora and McMillan and Cowie and those guys, that's where I think folks are a little bit nervous because the cat strength on offense seems to be where Oregon might be most vulnerable on defense.
You know, it seems like you've got 2 teams that their Achilles heel, their opponents are good at. Arizona's going to chuck the ball down the field, and Arizona hasn't been able to stop the run consistently all season long in gang tackles. So I don't know what we're going to get in this game.
If I knew what we were going to get in this game, I'd be talking to you from my mansion in Vegas. But I think that's what makes this such an intriguing matchup. I mean, first of all, easily the most improved team in this conference right now is Arizona after the 1-win season. What Coach Fitch has done, just bringing in all the transfers, upgrading at the quarterback position, the skill position, and Oregon, who has been able to shelve the Georgia disaster and, get near the top 10. I think that's what makes this matchup so intriguing. What you think there's always going to be a surprise.
I love it. So are you confident in the Ducks? Are you lukewarm on the Ducks? You want to bet on the game?
Yeah, I've been betting for about 50 years, and I've learned I don't bet because I think I'm going to win. I just like the action.
All right, I got local brewed beer for you.
Okay, what could I send you here? And of course, I have to lay the 11 or the 12, right?
No, I'll go straight up. We're brothers. I'll go straight up. I got, let me see. I got some Santan IPA, or I can send you some Santan whiskey, locally distilled down here. A couple of our sponsors, and you figure something cool to send me from Eugene.
Well, my son is a brewmaster, so if it comes to that, I'll get a hold of you, and I'll get some options from him, and we could send you some top-quality, locally brewed Oregon beer.
See, now we have something to root for a little bit more, right?
Yeah. And plus, when you do a pregame show and a postgame show and a show all week long, you're naturally rooting so you don't have to play therapist to your callers.
That is outstanding. Steve Tannen joining us from our sister station up in Eugene, Oregon. Steve, thank you so much. Enjoy the game. We promise we'll take care of the Duck fans that are coming down here. Thank you so much. I'll catch up with you soon.
Oh, always good talking to you. Enjoy.
All right, we'll continue. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Rich Herrera, exclusively on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Like the first
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. 6th and 44th, 44th Street and 6th Avenue. We have some police activity traffic on 6th Avenue, south side of I-10 blocked due to police activity. 6th Avenue on the south side of I-10, some slowing. Both directions of traffic on I-10.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's hot! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball, down by 11, 3 have to go, steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like one driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ball game. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front, they shift, play fake, rolling right, McLeod looking to throw, going deep, down, trying to find Berryhill, makes the catch inside the 25-yard line, still loose inside the 15, first down Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know.
From fall camp to the Territorial Cup, we bring you all the action of Arizona football. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. It's 5 p.m. Tucson, and that means it's time for our Wildcat Insiders.
Am I late? No, my boy, you're just in time.
Each weekday, Wildcats Radio 1290 brings you all the latest news and opinions on Wildcats football.
I don't care. Be in front of the camera. So wait, hold up a Corona.
Tucson, and let's
Watch,
talk
come here, you can see
Arizona
right
football. Our Arizona Insiders are brought to you by Coors Light, official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
Yeah.
Chill on, Wildcats.
No, you're perfect.
Here is your host, Rich Herrera.
Hey, today's program is brought to you by our friends at Corona, an official sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Go Cats from your friends at Corona. By the way, we've got Corona swag up here with us. So if you make your way over here to Illegal Pete's, you come upstairs. We've got lots of gear from Corona. Is that a Ducks fan I see over there? Do I see green people? Hey, Ducks fan! I'm waving at the Ducks fan. Hey, welcome to Tucson. He's giving me the big Oregon O. I got to get him to explain the eggshell uniforms they're using tomorrow that look like they just forgot to do the laundry. Anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody. It's Rich Herrera. We're live at Illegal Pete's. We invite you to come by, join us. The pep rally's getting ready to get going here in a little bit. Place is packed. It's Parents' Weekend. Tomorrow's game is a sellout. Don't ask for me for tickets. I don't have any. And a reminder from everybody at the athletic department, get there early. If you're used to rolling in there 20 minutes before the game, it's not going to work. It's a sellout. It'll be the biggest crowd since 2017 at Arizona Stadium. Give yourself plenty of time. Plenty of time to get in the stadium. Get there an hour early. Enjoy the atmosphere. Go by the mall. Go see Brother John. Get some barbecue. But make sure you get out to the stadium tomorrow and give yourself plenty of time to get there. Now, we're going to be broadcasting from the studios because of the threat of some thunder showers in the afternoon, just for safety with all the equipment. We're going to be back in the studios before Glenn, Kelvin, and I run over to Arizona Stadium. But until then, let's talk with our Arizona insider who joins us every Friday, 5 o'clock, the one, the only, the best mustache this side of Tom Selleck, Glenn Howell, joining us here on 1290. Bear down, Glenn, bear down.
Bear down, Rich. How are you? How you doing?
I am fired up. I'm excited about the sellout tomorrow. Tell me, because, again, you're the mayor of Tucson. You're the Conquistadors. Everybody knows who you are. Talk about the buzz in town that we're going to have our first sellout at Arizona Stadium since 2017.
It's just amazing how I'm just so excited about having this game sold out, man. I just can't wait to get on the field and just look around and pull out my phone and just look at all the people that are going to be in the stands. It's going to be an incredible game, and I'm really looking forward to watching the Cats and the Ducks go at it.
The energy that we can have tomorrow is going to be something. We were just talking with someone from our sister station up in Eugene talking about Bo Nix. Now, Bo Nix is not the focal point. It's still a running football team. But when he does get back there to pass, he's rattleable. You saw what happened against Georgia. I'm not comparing the two, but I will compare the crowds. If you could bring the energy tomorrow, Arizona Wildcat fans can affect this game.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a big factor is the Zona Zoo and also the fans everywhere else in the stadium. It's got to be active. We have to be active. Third downs, we got to go crazy, make it loud. And it's third down for us, we got to be quiet, okay? And then we have to really understand that we can be a part of the game. If I'm a fan coming to the game tomorrow, I'm thinking, man, I really have a chance to be part of this game plan. Right. I really am, because that's what Jed was asking the fans to be a part of the game plan. We have to be a factor. So tomorrow, fans, if you're listening to this radio broadcast, please be loud. Be loud. Put everything down when there's a third down. Be vocal. be excited. We got to get this stadium rocking. And I've been there when the stadium is rocking, and it's a big factor.
JW, if you wouldn't mind, grab me cut 5 that we used a little bit earlier on the program. Let me know when you have it, the Nancy to Carroll cut, because I want to play that for Glenn. Both coordinators talked about it, that if the Arizona Wildcat fans can get out there and they can make a difference, they can help the Arizona Wildcats, they can help the offense, they can help the defense. And, the job that the Zona Zoo, we've talked about them a lot. They've been phenomenal this year, getting there early. I mean, as I roll in the stadium an hour and a half early, they're already there, packed, ready to go, all heated up, making noise throughout the warm-ups, just giving a little taste of what the stadium is going to be like. They've been great staying through the entire game and making sure that they're making noise and they've stayed in it. The crowd against North Dakota State made a difference, and I think you're right. They can make a difference against Bo Nix and the Oregon Ducks this weekend.
Ready when you are, Rich.
By the way, let me throw this out at you. I'm not sure if you heard this, Glenn, but here's Johnny Nansen, defense coordinator, and Brendan Carroll, offensive coordinator, talking about the Cats' home field advantage they can have if we could bring the energy.
Oh, it's going to be huge. And if you guys are listening, we need your help. Yeah, it's going to be huge.
Show up, show out.
That's right.
Zona Zoo, where you at?
I mean, listen, they said it right there. They will make a difference, Glenn.
Yeah, and the Tucson is responding. I give kudos to Tucson. They are responding. We're responding by coming out, buying up all the tickets. It's a complete sellout. We're responding, and I'm excited about what's going to happen for it. You just don't understand, Rich, how it is. When I played in front of a sold-out stadium at Arizona, when we played Arizona State, that was just the greatest feeling of walking out there and seeing the whole place just packed. It's just unbelievable energy for a player. It's for the team. It's an extra boost for you. So I give kudos to Tucson. Tucson, we got to keep on doing this. If we do this, we will build a program around you. Okay? We'll build it around you. The city of Tucson being a hostile crowd, and kids will love to come here.
That's what
it's all about.
You're the first person I've heard say that. Listen. I gave Jed all the credit in the world because he's been going out there, talking to people, kissing babies, shaking hands, going to the fraternity houses, practically begging people to come out and see his team. And now that we got it where it's a sellout, it's going to be something special. But the Cats are going to have to do something to earn people coming back for the next game because USC's next on the horizon. So if they show up, they show out, and Arizona shows up and they ball out, there's a good chance we'll get a huge crowd for the Trojans, and that's going to do nothing but help this football team.
Absolutely. And I think that the coach is going to have a good game plan. I hope they're going to plan on. I just listened to what our counterpart up in Eugene said. They're going to try to run the ball to keep the ball out of our hands. We need to do the same thing. We need to play check. We need to play chess with them. Your move, my move. We're not going to play checkers. Okay, we're playing chess. So we need to do the same thing. I believe we need to do the same thing. Keep the ball out of Bo Nix's hands. Take it out of that offense by running the ball. I know that they have a great run defense. They only give up like 98 yards a game, 96 yards a game on the ground. But we got to test that. We got to tell our guys up front, this is if you want to play at the next level. Let's see it. You're going to play against some guys that are going to be at the next level. Let's show up.
We're talking right now with Glenn Howell. He's our Arizona insider. Joins us every Friday here on the program. There's no such thing as a perfect football team. I mean, not even Alabama, Georgia's perfect. There's still going to be an Achilles heel somewhere that you could try to exploit. And I look at these two teams, Glenn, and I think both of these teams have an imperfection that's pretty glaring. For the Arizona Wildcats, it's the ability to stop the run and tackle at the point of contact before you get to that second level. For the Oregon Ducks, I think their defensive secondary is suspect. I know their cornerbacks have been questioned, and their safeties. So it seems to me like both teams, Arizona can attack that soft defensive backfield for Oregon, and Oregon certainly is going to try to do what North Dakota State did and what Cal did and what Colorado tried to do, and that's run the ball up the gut on the Arizona defense.
And what I have to say to the defensive guys is that when are you going to say enough is enough? That's what I put out to those guys now. Is when are they going to say enough is enough? We're going to have to start playing better, and we're tired of people running it down our throats, and that's what they've been doing. So they have to be able to say stop. And this is a perfect game to really to rear up and bear down and say we're not going to allow this to happen anymore. And it's a matter of them believing they can do that. If they can believe they can do it, it can happen.
It's correctable. I've talked to Johnny Nance in the last two
Yes.
weeks and asked him questions. I've asked Jed Fish. This is assignment, alignment, gap integrity, run fit, whatever you want to call it. But it's not like they're getting run off the ball. It's guys are missing the assignment. You explained this to me the other day.
Yeah.
Once I let one of my shoulders leak, once I get my shoulders and somebody's able to just turn me, it creates a crack, and they've been able to take advantage of getting through that crack in the wall. If you keep level, you keep pad integrity, you don't give your right shoulder up or give your left shoulder up, you could cause those type of roadblocks, which will keep people from running rampant through you. So all of this is stuff that's fixable.
Yeah, it's not personnel. I don't think it's personnel. This is the first time I can say. Last year I might have said, well, we might not have the guys up front. I think we have the guys up front to be able to go against these guys. I think we have those guys. So it's the personnel. It's not the personnel. It's just making sure that they're believing in what they can do and doing their assignment and alignment and being able to say, no, I am not going to get removed from my gaps. I'm going to do my assignment and alignment. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it to win this ball game.
Now, running the football, something that we talked about all the time, I think I had an epiphany. I think, and Brennan Carroll is going to talk about this. We're going to have a soundbite for him in the pregame show, running the football to stay balanced. But the more and more I thought about it, after I watched Arizona just do everything they possibly wanted to against Colorado, I really thought I saw something of what Arizona's offense could be in its perfect form. And it looks more like the National Football League, where I just run enough to keep you honest so I could throw the ball down the field and get chunk yardage. What do you think?
I don't think that, because that's Colorado. That was Colorado.
Right, but you can do anything you want. Because okay,
yeah, that's what you can do.
So that was my impression, because against Colorado there's no pressure, defense was suspect, so you got to do everything that you wanted to do without much fight from Colorado. So if that's the purest form of what this offense would look like when everything goes right, it kind of opened my eyes to something like maybe it's when they say run balance, it's maybe run integrity, run honesty, making sure that they keep that extra guy in the box in order for me to exploit them down the field and attack the safeties.
Yeah, and we were worried about Colorado going down and scoring and scoring and scoring. That's a different team. Oregon, we don't do that. We don't move the chains, and we don't hold the ball for long periods of time, and we don't do that. Oregon might score every single possession. Colorado is not going to do that. So I think that game is not something that we look at. We got to look at shortening the game, taking the ball out of which they're planning on doing with us, because they know that our offense can score. So they don't want to give us the ball. They don't want Jaden Delore to get in a rhythm.
Right.
Okay. We don't want a Bo Nix to get in a rhythm. So we need to run the ball. We need to win first down and second down, which I've been saying all season.
Right.
First down and second down. We get 2 to 3 yards, 4 yards on second, with third
on
and
first
3.
down. And that keeps Jaden from having to play hero ball.
Yes, exactly. And then it also keeps the defense, because we have so many weapons, they don't know what we're going to do.
Right. Absolutely.
So we can really surprise them. So that's what I think that we need to start going that way, because I think Colorado was just not a game that we can model after.
No. And again, they were just their own mess, but we'll talk more about that coming up on the pregame show. By the way, let's talk about who we're having tomorrow featured on our pregame show.
Well, tomorrow we're going to have on the House Huddle is a guy that epitomizes just what we need of toughness. Remember, we were talking about toughness, how we needed to have that. We've been talking that about two years with this Jed Fish thing. I think they're moving towards the toughness of what we need to have at Arizona. And we got Heath Bray on tomorrow. The guy he came in as a quarterback, was a safety, played on some great defense with Teddy Bruschi and all these guys, and he was a special teams, just this fanatic on special teams. That's the kind of attitude we have to have, and we'll have some stories tomorrow about his special teams of some of the coaches that I was talking to him today about some stories we're going to talk about on the show, and I'm looking forward to having Keith Bray on the show tomorrow on House Huddle.
And then tomorrow we'll also have Trunk Candidate is going to be joining us for the Captain's Corner.
Yeah.
So we've got some really great guests. Some really great guests coming up on our pregame show. We'll get on the air with you at 1:30 leading up until the 6 o'clock kickoff. Mr. Hal, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and let's all bear down. And I want to say kudos to Tucson. Kudos to Tucson, Rich, for selling that stadium out. That's a great job of doing it. And kudos to Jed Fish for pushing them there.
Absolutely. Glenn, thank you so much. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Glenn Howell joins us.
We'll see you.
Our Arizona insider, Glenn Howell, joins us every Friday, 5 p.m. right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellis, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The Locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
4th down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on 4th down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball. Down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his 3rd foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berrios. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball.
Rich Herrera on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. We're here at Illegal Pizza, starting to get packed. All the folks in town for Parents Weekend. It's a sellout at Arizona Stadium. Our friends from Corona are here. They got beads and hats and T-shirts. Thanks to everybody for joining us today. Hey, today's program is brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore, located in Oracle and Limberlost. Here's the deal. There's only one golf store in town that can take care of everything from equipment to accessories, to shoes, to clothing, to golf balls, to visors. Oh yeah, we're not done yet. They've got custom club fitters. They've got putters. They've got drivers. They got everything. They've got club repair. That's why it's called PGA Tour Superstore. With a name like that, you know they have to be able to take care of everything. And by the way, they've got the biggest selection of golf balls at everyday low prices, shoes, everything you possibly can want. And now the weather's starting to break and you go out there and really enjoy golf. Hey, go by PGA Tour Superstore and get yourself set up to play golf this fall. And we got a special offer for you. If you roll in there and you tell them, hey, I listen to Wildcats Radio 1290, they'll take $20 off a purchase of $100. They'll take $50 off a purchase of $250. But only if you tell them you listen to Wildcats Radio 1290. So thanks to PGA Tour Superstore. By the way, they also sponsor our Tucson Golf Show, heard every morning, 8 a.m. Jesse Crow and myself bring you that show right here on your home of the Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290. I was going to go through my Mount Rushmore Cats who need to make a play in tomorrow's ball game, so I'll just tell you right now, I think it's got to be Tyler McLaughlin. Gunnar Cruz has got to show up big. Jalen Harris has got to be huge, and I'm really looking for a game from Christian Young. Now, the reason why I skipped through all of that because we don't have much time, and I do want to get a caller in. Doug calling in on line one. Doug, bear down, welcome. You're on Wildcats Radio 1290. How are you?
Hey, Rich, bear down, man. I haven't been in touch too much since basketball season, but
I know
this
where you
football
been.
season's been really exciting, and I'm here. I'm going to all the games. I'm
right.
watching them, biting off all my nails. So yeah, I've been around. For some reason I haven't been calling in, and I apologize.
Well,
but I'm here.
Let's correct that, please.
Yeah. Let's correct it. I just want to focus on the number 3 today. Number 1, the first number 3 I want to put out there is that it's our third Pac-12 home game, third Pac-12 game.
Right.
After this game, we only have 3 games left, and so the football home season goes by really fast. And
it does, doesn't it?
Before you know it, it's Christmas, and you're like, where did the football season go? So people need to continue supporting the team, not just tomorrow as we're doing with the great sellout, but all the way through the rest of the season. But the main threes I want to talk about are third down and the third quarter.
Yeah.
So Glenn Howell just touched on the third downs, but it drives me absolutely crazy that people drive all the way down, they buy a ticket, they come to the game, they put on the shirt, and then when we're on defense and at third down, they don't clap, they don't stand, they don't cheer, they don't scream their lungs out. And, I shouldn't have to turn around and wave my arms in the air like, let's go, let's get up, it's third down. People should know that. And so I just want to really challenge people on every defensive down, but especially on third down. And God forbid we ever have a defensive fourth down. Nobody should have to ask you to stand up and cheer, right?
You know what? Glenn is the first one who said we could build this thing around the fans. And that's really what it is. And I was talking about this earlier, Doug. The difference between the Southeastern Conference super fan and super crowds over there is they bring the energy and the team feeds off of the energy out of the West Coast. And this isn't Arizona. This is all the West Coast. We have fans that feed off the team. The other way around is where you get the real home field advantage, and that's what I hope we get tomorrow night.
I've always been a big advocate for that. You don't want to be reactive, you want to be proactive.
Yeah.
And we can do that as a crowd. The other thing about third quarter, I just think back to the Mississippi State game. It was only a 15-point deficit, and everyone was leaving. And you just don't understand the math of football if you're doing that. So all I want to encourage people is I don't know how this game's going to go, but if things are looking a little bit down in the third quarter, stick with it.
You can make a difference. By the way, where do you have to go? Where are you leaving that you need to go to get somewhere in the beginning of the fourth quarter?
Correct.
I have to leave because I got to go back to the station to get ready for the post-game show. Nobody else has an excuse.
Yeah, and this is not an 8 p.m. kickoff. It's 6 p.m. So if you stay the whole game, you're out by 9:30. You can still go party on 4th Avenue all you want. Stay till 9:30, watch the whole game. You paid for the ticket. So those are my keys.
It would be
make sure you make noise on third down.
Right.
And don't ditch the team in the third quarter.
It would be like going to see Top Gun Maverick and you leave before the end of the mission where they go in to try to take out the reactor, right?
Right. Like I've already seen the romance and I've seen the relationship stuff. I don't need to see the real action at the end of the movie.
30 seconds.
You're exactly
Doug,
right.
you're the best. I just
wanted to throw those out there.
Nah, I miss you. Thank you for calling in. Bear down, brother. I'll talk to you soon. I miss Doug calling in.
Bear down.
Thank you. He called in all during the big run last year for basketball. I'm glad he called. I missed him. All right. Coming up in the program next, a conversation with Adia Barnes. I call her the Toast of Tucson. I think everybody should celebrate her. Let's get a little preview of Arizona women's basketball. All that coming up here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.